Howdy y'all, Monklax Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. Alright, just hit the crops here. So I probably got a little bit more here to work with, seed-wise. I think I should probably start changing this out a little bit. Try to get a little more... What's the word I want? A little more planning to my garden instead of just shoving everything together. I don't even remember what we need. We need oh, don't we need niter? Oof, that's like the one thing I ain't got. Niter. Let me see here. What's it even called? Plot? A plot? A farm plot. Clay, niter, flesh, and wood. So yeah, gonna need to run out and get some niter. Oh, let me unload my plants. Man, I got a lot of stuff. There we go. Alright. I need to get some more niter. Which is... that way. Okay. Just a little bit more. Actually, let's go ahead and swap this out for the good bullets. Thought I heard something coming for me. Yeah, they've started the dev streams for Alpha 19, so I haven't looked whereabouts that puts us in regards to when Alpha 19 is coming. I hope it's soon. Not that I've really finished with Alpha 18 here, but I mean, we got a pretty good feel for it. That's rock you're looking for. That's lead. Well, it's supposed to be night. Did I come down a lead hole? That's iron. Right? No, that's lead, it says. It looks like iron. It's not what I'm after. Interesting. It's definitely a different texture than I was expecting. And now I've trapped myself in a hole. Sort of. I've got the supplies to get me out. Alright. Yeah, I usually talk about shows I've been watching, or I guess we could talk about shows I've been watching. No D&D's been going on lately. I don't know if it's just world's too crazy right now, or people have forgotten it's summer, you know. I don't know what's happened. I know our in-person-ish game last week got canceled, so we didn't get anything from that. But my online game, my play-by-post hasn't moved in over a week, I don't think. Not that I pushed. I have not posted Um, I think my last post was that I would give up some of my money. I don't. My guy doesn't have a lot of money, so. But we were looking at possibly buying those two items I talked about before, the mapping unit or the headset. And because they've done a few jobs, so they've got money. But my character joined them later, so he only has the starter money. So I think he's only got like 16 bucks or something. I don't know. I'd have to look. Whereas, you know, I think that they've got closer to 100 each. So I just don't have any to give. But yeah, I said I'd give up some of my money, and then one of the other guys said he'd give up some of his money, and then we haven't heard back from the other two guys. So I don't know what's going on there, but shows I've been watching though. I finished Rise of the Shield Hero. I liked it. Season 1. Season 1 ended. I feel like I already talked about this. Season 1 ended with Wave 3 out of 10, I believe. And you got some more information about a little bit more information what was going on. Problem is that I read what it was about now because it kind of ended in a not done moment for season 1, and I wanted to know where things were going. And then F is for Family had a new season. I love that show. It is so funny. It's funny because I can see some of my childhood in it. I wasn't quite... Oh, rocks are falling on me. If you ever watch it, my childhood wasn't as bad as that. But there are some elements of that were in my childhood, so I really get some of the jokes. It is definitely not a family-friendly show, even if it is animated. But it is very funny look at growing up in the late 70s, I guess. I live in a city though, so you know, there's no comparison there. But and then the other one that I watched was season 2 of Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beast, and that is really good. I am very surprised at how good a Y7 cartoon can be. I am thoroughly enjoying that one. Spoilers, because that's what I'm going to talk about. So the first season of Kipo is something has happened. They still haven't said what happened, even at the end of season 2. But some kind of mutation thing spread across the planet, and all the animals grew intelligent all at once and got bigger. So like cats walk on 2 legs and are the size of people, you know. Basically everything got 2 legs and started talking, or well, I mean, sometimes they have more than 2 legs, but most of the things that Kipo interacts with walk on 2 legs. It's not just the animals either. There's some plant stuff, and but like the whole surface is mutated. And then some of the animals didn't stop at human-sized, and so the ones that got super big are called megamutes. And they they're still animals for the most part, and so like they got like six-legged giant dogs, just playing in a field and stuff like that. There's like a giant, like I don't know, 8 or 10-legged rabbits in like the first or second episode of the first season. Uh, but so there's this mandrill that, which is an ape, um, that is trying to make himself king over everything, and he uses his pheromones allow him to control primates, which includes humans. And so he is setting up a kingdom based off of control of the humans. Shoot, it needs clay. Oh, I've got a bajillion tons of clay. Alright, so let's see about making some farm plots here. And, oh, I got enough stuff back for 9, huh? Guess that's good. How long do they take to make? Not too long. And so, he is hunting down the human bunkers that are all like underground cities, so that he can get all the humans to work for him. And so, as mindless slaves. And so he has control over a six-armed monkey that's a mega mute, so it's gigantic, like a thin King Kong with 6 arms instead of 2. And so, oh, look at that. I made 9 plots, 9 corn seeds. And so, he attacks Kipo's city, and her father is trying to get her out, and the whole thing starts collapsing. And so I seem to remember he throws her into the river that runs through their city. Well, the river goes out of the city and into a drain that eventually leads out into like a drainage system in the city, like a real, like the surface city that's ruins. And so she's no longer a girl in a bunker. She's now a girl on the surface who doesn't know what's going on the surface. And so it's pretty good. So after that point, she bumps into another human who's got his name's Benson, and he's got a bug friend named Dave. Dave is kind of funny. He molts between life stages. And so I think when she meets him, Dave is a baby. And then time will go on, and then Dave will sneeze or something, and then Dave becomes a toddler, and then Dave, sneezes again, and then Dave becomes I had corn seeds. Oh no, I was making corn seeds. Right. And then Dave goes and becomes adult Dave, no, teenager Dave, and then adult Dave, and then he becomes Super Dave, and then after Super Dave, I'm gonna break one of these just to see what happens. I'm kind of hoping I get it back. You don't. Oh, you do. You do. You get it back. Oh, that's sweet. Alright. I wasn't sure what would happen there. I'm going to dig these up and then rearrange them here. So, and then after Super Dave, he turns into old Dave. And then, after that, he turns back into a egg, I think. But so yeah, so Dave is funny. He's always switching between forms. When he gets nervous, he molts and he turns into his next form. So even though he's got like Super Dave form, Super Dave doesn't last to help anybody out at all. And so there's a Super Dave, but until way later, there's no actual help from Super Dave. Which I find very funny. And I need one more of these. And so then, alright, so this row I want to be my potatoes. Potatoes. Oh, I've only got 4 potatoes. Dang it. I think you need 5 to make a... Yep. You need 5 to make a potato seed. Potatoes are going to be slow. I'm going to have to go look for potatoes. In fact, I don't have any potatoes planted, right? Wow. I don't have potatoes planted. I've got to go find another potato. Wait, let me look. Make sure I don't have a potato seed somewhere. I wouldn't even know what a potato seed looks like. There are no potato seeds in there. Got some charred meat in there, though. Gonna eat that. Get that out of there. Cottonseed. It's not potato seed, though. Interesting. Was not aware that I didn't have any potatoes growing. Thought I did. Need those potatoes for some of the bigger things. So I need to go find a farm. Can I tell what a farm is from the top here? I know I saw some. Like that right there. Is that a farm? I think that's a farm right there. There's a farm right there. Yeah. All right. So let's head to that farm because it's pretty close. So we'll just go down the road and up a bit. But yeah, it's so she's trying to figure out when she gets back. She meets up with Benson and Dave, and then she meets a girl that calls herself Wolf, and then they basically, I don't know where Benson and Dave come from. I don't know if they've ever said. Benson is very not surface person. So I'm not, like, he must have been. I don't think they've given his backstory. Or if they did, I don't remember what it is. Wolf, on the other hand, they've given her backstory. She was raised by wolves. I think the wolves killed her family, and then she was raised by wolves. And then some things happen, and then she is no longer with the wolves and wears a wolf skin, and has a staff with a mutated scorpion stinger, that will put you to sleep if you get stung. Yeah, for whatever reason, mutated scorpions did not grow big. I mean, yes, they're big. They're like human-sized, maybe a little bigger. But they didn't like... They're not like building size like the dogs or the rabbits. And they're not smart. They don't talk. So I don't know what's up with those guys. Oh, they also have a pig. I want to call him Mondo. Mondo, I think is his name. That's cartoon intelligent. He's, you know, like a step below Scooby-Doo. And so, anyways, when she finally gets back to her shelter, her city where she came from, bunker, whatever you want to call it, uh, they're gone. They've evacuated because I mean the roof gets torn off, and so she has to follow the clues, and so they follow the clues looking for her father. But it's really good. Like, I'm amazed. It's very action-packed and has a good sci-fi storyline and stuff. It's well done. Which I don't expect from a cartoon most of the time. Oh, I done went too high. I should have taken this little fake side road here. Oh well. But yeah, I don't usually watch a lot of cartoons. I watch anime, which is, you know, animated cartoon. But most of the time, as I've mentioned multiple times, anime is a little different because American cartoons are, for the most part, for children. And, oh no, you're not a farm. And so it's super hit or miss if I'm gonna enjoy it or not. I'm not saying there aren't adult-oriented cartoons in America. There definitely are, and some of them have been my favorites. But it's not like anime, because in Japan they make cartoons for all ages and all genres. And so there's lots of different genres of anime in different age groups you can pick. Whereas American cartoons are most likely going to just be for children. Still in different genres, but mostly are just for children. Not always true, but mostly. And so it's hard for me to find something that I enjoy. I don't know why I enjoy cartoons more than regular television, but I do for the most part. And so I am always happy when I find one that I like, and this was one that I really liked. Season 2 was pretty good. Throughout the course of season 1, you discover that Kipo's not human. She's some kind of mutant. And so she can transform parts of her body into a pink leopard. And so, like she gets claws on her hands, or ears, or nose, or leopard eyes, you know. Is this where I wanted to go? Yeah, right up here. And so, in season 2, you discover why she can do that, and a little more what happened to Scarlemagne, who is the mandrill who wants to be king. And I'm not seeing a lot of potato here. And her father, and what happened to her mother, and you know, stuff like that. And it was good. and I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased that it was so good. It's good. I recommended it to my one friend who watches anime. I'm like, dude, this is worth watching. I really enjoyed it. If is he gonna watch it? Probably not. Our our anime watching relationship does not go in two directions. He suggests things for me to watch that are for the most part terrible, and then refuses to watch anything I say he should watch, uh, which isn't a very good relationship. Uh, and I don't know why you wouldn't want to at least watch, or at least check it out, you know. And then he's always telling me about the things he's watched. He's like, you should watch it. I pretty much have stopped watching what he suggests at this point. Feel like we just don't have the same taste in anime. But there's also the fact that I feel it's rude for him to not watch the anime I suggest he should watch so we could talk about it. Because he has no interest in doing what other people suggest. Because he's a bit of a narcissist. And I also don't like this ladder being down here while I'm trying to get up here. I'm not sure this helped anybody. Have you guys seen potatoes? Potatoes? Man, it was really good. I almost be willing to watch again. I need to watch the other one that I was enjoying was that Dragon Prince that everybody tells me is good. And I'm like, yeah, I started watching it. I really did. I watched everything but the final episode of season 1 because I was watching it with my nephew. And then it got too late to finish, and so he went and watched the whole season over again, including the episode we hadn't watched the next day while I was working. And I'm like, all right, man, let's finish this. And he's like, I already watched it today. And so I haven't finished season 1, which is sad. I need to finish it. So yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of potatoes at this farm, unfortunately. I need the one that's got a house. And I don't have one that's got a house. Yeah, there's a old cartoon that was adult oriented that I just absolutely loved. Was the Spawn cartoon, and it was a thing that probably has put me on the path of well, it's not the only thing, but it's one of the things that put me on the path of realizing that just because something isn't for you doesn't mean it doesn't need to exist. And Spawn was my first. Well, I don't know if it was my first, but it was one of the most memorable, let's put it that way, experiences with people who shouldn't have been watching it getting it canceled. So, Spawn, just real quick here before we finish. Spawn was a cartoon That was R-rated and often included scenes of extreme violence and nudity and graphic sex. Things that you wouldn't expect to be in a cartoon necessarily. I mean, obviously everybody is should be tangentially aware that those cartoons are out there. Um, but it's not common to come across that unless you're looking for it. Spawn was not designed just to be like, hoo hoo hoo, look at how titillating this is. No, Spawn was a story based off a comic book, and they made it R-rated, and it was like watching a movie. It was like watching an R-rated movie, right? I mean, it wasn't just like, a sex-filled hentai or something. No, this was a continuing from episode to episode storyline, R-rated film, basically, that was on Friday nights at midnight on HBO. So the shows before and the shows after were both probably R-rated at that time of night, because HBO kind of follows the well, at least back when I used to watch it, follows the TV schedule ish. So like in the daytime, you're probably going to get more PG and PG-13 shows. And then when you get to like 10 p.m., your 11 p.m., somewhere in there, you're going to start hitting your R-rated, stuff a little is more likely to be on than the PG-13 stuff, right? And so Spawn was every Friday night, 30-minute episode, you know, and after 3 seasons, it got canceled because parents were discovering that their underage children, who they were allowing to stay up till after midnight on a Friday night, were watching the show, and they didn't like the content. And so because they couldn't control their own children, I lost my favorite cartoon. That was my favorite cartoon back in the day. And so, yeah. Yeah. And that made me grow to really, really have a problem with people who are like, I don't like that, so I don't think anyone should have it. You know what? I don't like the idea of skydiving, but I'm not going to stop people from skydiving. I don't like the idea of bungee jumping. I'm not going to stop people from bungee jumping. I mean, I guess if you want to bungee jump off my house, I might stop you. If you're going to skydive off my house, I don't think I'd appreciate that. Honestly, what are you doing in my house? But I feel like I've been saying a lot today. Yeah, it just even thinking about it makes me angry. Although apparently it's on HBO Max, my sister told me, which we have now, and so I'm thinking I might have to watch through it again because it's been a long time since I watched it. It's really fun, angry supernatural story about an American soldier who was in a basically Black Ops kill squad, who's betrayed by his teammates and killed, and then the Devil Malbolgia needs a soldier to lead his armies in a war against heaven. And oh look, right here's a farm too. And so he makes a deal with the guy, although I don't think that has potatoes either. Makes a deal with the guy that he will allow him to come back to life to see his wife. In return, he must lead Malbolgia's armies. Well, Malbolgia's a devil, so while he kept the requirements of the deal, he also altered the outcome in his favor. And so when the character Al Simmons comes back to life. He comes back to life as the Hellspawn, which is where the name of the cartoon comes from, the comic book Spawn. Um, the Hellspawn comes back to life, but it's 5 years later. His wife is remarried and has a daughter, and and then he's in immense pain and angry, super angry, and so he feels Malbolgia has betrayed him and refuses to uphold his end of the deal, and so Malbolgia sends agents after him, and but then on top of that, it's integrated into some of the other comics at the time in that comic book company's lineup. So he does run into some other things that are going on, and like the actual military sends people after him, and he's just trying to figure out what's going on while, you know, mercenaries come after him, and nobody will leave him alone. And I should have taken my bike with me. Why did I just leave my bike back there? And so, yeah, it was really good. I still quote some of the things from it, like there's a cybernetic dude. I forget what his name is. Overtkill, I think is what his name is, and he's sent to take down Spawn, and he leaves a message on the wall that says like, meet here at 12 midnight. And so Spawn finally gets to the wall and he's reading it, and, you know, meet me here at 12 midnight. And then all of a sudden the wall explodes and Spawn goes flying, and Overkill steps through and goes, exactly 12 midnight in Nairobi. And oh, are you not empty? Oh, I was hoping you had some gas. But you didn't. Alright, well, with that, I'm going to call it a day. So, be better in the small things, lean into the light, and I will talk to you later.